Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Safitri with NPM 180400066. In this occasion, I would like to explain about our material on the subject academic writing that we have been learned before. Academic writing is a formal style of writing used in universities and scholarly publications. You will encounter it in journal articles and books on academic topics, and you will be expected to write your essays, research papers, and dissertation in academic styles. Process of writing. There are 4 steps on writing. The first one is pre-writing, and the second one drafting, and the third one editing and revising, and the last one rewriting. Okay, let's see them one by one. Step 1, pre-writing, searching and reviewing articles. Scientific articles are writings that contain scientific studies by following formal writing standards and scientific writing rules. A collection of published articles summarized in a journal. Reputable journals will be published online and periodically. One of the criteria for a good journal is to contain scientific writings in the same knowledge family, such as journals that specifically discuss teaching English only, or specifically for linguistics. And then doing the research. By determining the context of the writing area, we are familiar with the direction of writing to be developed. But to be specific and focused, we have to do some research first. The purpose of this research is to collect as much information as possible and as much detail as possible in order to get real condition related to the contact area. And next, deciding contact area. Context area is the area or scope of topic to be written based on prior knowledge. It's impossible for a writer to choose an area he is not aware of. The process of determining the context of this writing area must be tailored to each individual's ability and purpose of writing. For example, a student chooses an English skill area. In this context, if used as topic for writing, is still too broad and too many studies to be explored. To be more specific, the student must reduce the context area, such as writing skills or speaking skills. Then, from this selection, we can still create more area range. As long as the area can be developed, that means it's still too general. Conversely, if it can no longer be developed, it means that the area is too narrow. Okay, next, step 2 is drafting. Drafting is the most decisive step in producing structure and quality academic writing. This is because in the process of writing a draft, all the basic ideas will be poured out on a piece of paper or type. What is done in this drafting process is writing a thesis statement. For the writing thesis statement. Thesis statement is mandatory for academic writing. Without a thesis statement, the writing will not have a clear direction. Next, writing outline writing. Frameworks can be designed according to taste, art, or understanding of each. Some people make concept maps, some are like skulls, some make sequence, and some even have scribbles on paper. Example and outline. Background of the problem. Facts about technological involvement in learning. Fact about learning academic writing. Fact about technological involvement in learning academic writing. Fact in academic writing classroom. The reason why this topic important to write. review of related literature, academic writing, online learning, online academic writing, learning material, and academic learning material. Next, paraphrase. To develop ideas in writing, we need support by citing or other sources related to our writing. The steps that can be taken in paraphrase are 3R, namely, the first one, read the source, and the second one, remove the source, and the third one, retype or write by your own words. In this step, the writer must read and understand the source text carefully. To remember it, it can be helped by writing in a small book the important that can support our writing. After that, avoid or stay away from words and sentences in the source text earlier. Then rewrite the text in your own language. Next, how to write the background of the problem. The first one, formulate a statement thesis. Many problems are still very unclear, so it's necessary to strengthen the author's thinking. Previous preliminary research is helpful for asking research questions or a thesis statement that will eventually lead to more relevant and specific writing. The second one, develop and write a research questions or thesis statement. The third one, complete the research using the questions and the thesis statement and as a writing guide. Resources relevant to the thesis should be used to provide more insight into the research question. And the fourth one is, when writing the background to the problem, make the relevant sections. This can be done by writing 5 different sections that have the main problems, main findings, and controversies surrounding the research question or thesis, as well as the sections providing evaluation and conclusions. The first one, identification of further research that needs to be done in the conclusion sections, and also mentions possible solutions to problems that haven't been previously considered. And the last one, start by giving an overview of the thesis topic and introducing the main ideas that will be used during writing. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 created by me. The first one, I would like to explain about Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, there is introduction. Let's see them one by one. The first one, background of the problem. In learning English, there are 4 abilities that must be mastered, namely the ability to reading, listening, writing, and speaking. In the 4 abilities, we must balance one another, so we are successful in learning English. As we know that many countries have made English their second language. However, in Indonesia, English is still as a foreign language. English is one of the subjects in junior high school. According to the current curriculum, English has been eliminated from the subject in primary schools. So, it's likely that students in junior high school are less confident when speaking English in class. There are many factors that make this possible. The learning abilities possessed by each student differ from one and another because they are still at the basic level in learning English. Mastery of material or vocabulary is still lacking. Fear of speaking wrong and many other factors. The learning abilities. Since language is the basic tool for communication, it's essential to develop speaking skill in language learning process. However, Successful development of speaking skill in language learning can be under the influence of different factors, one of which is the notion of anxiety. As an effective variable, anxiety can be defined as a state of apprehension, a vague fear, from Scott 1978, paragraph 134. Regarding the autonomic nature of variable, Spielberger 1983 describes anxiety as the subjective feeling of tension, nervousness, and worry associated with an arousal of the autonomic nervous system. Based on the phenomena described above, may be the cause of low speaking ability achieved by students in learning English. This encourages researchers to conduct research related to the factor of student success in learning English. And the third one is formulation of the problem. Di dalam formulasi ini, saya mencantumkan ada 3 poin. Yang pertama, bagaimana latihan diskusi atau percakapan bagi siswa SMPN 2 Sungai Aur dalam menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Yang kedua, what are the benefits of using this method? Yang ketiga, is the discussion or conversation method effective in developing students' speaking skill? And the fourth one, and next, hypothesis of the problem. Using discussion conversation methods increase students' speaking skills development. Next, purpose of the research. The purpose of the research was to find out, the first one, how much students' interest in using the discussion conversation method in developing students' speaking skills. The second one, to tell the benefits we'll get if use this method. The third one, it proves that the discussion conversation method is effective for developing students' speaking skill. And the last one on chapter 1 is definition of term. Speaking can be formal or informal. The first one, informal speaking. Informal speaking is typically used with family and friends or people you know well. The formal speaking occurs in business or academic situations or when meeting people for the first time. Speaking is probably the language skill that most language learners wish to perfect as soon as possible. It used to be the only language skill that was difficult to practice online. This is no longer the case. English learners can practice speaking online using voice or video that can chat and services like Skype. They can also record and upload their voice for other people to listen to. Okay, next chapter 2. Di dalam chapter 2 ada beberapa poin yang akan saya jelaskan. Let's see them one by one. The first one, speaking. Definition of speaking. Speaking is the ability to carry out a conversation in the language. Based on Neumann 1991, page 12. Speaking is regarded as a vital language skill, since the most important function of a language is facilitating communication with others. Based on Littlewood 1992, page 9. Indeed, the art of speaking is considered the single most important by Neumann 1991. 91, page 39. And most rewarding aspect of language learning. Learning to speak, whether in a first or other language, necessitates that students develop linguistic and socio-linguistic aptitudes. Mahbub ul Alam and Khan, 2014. To elaborate, learning to speak a language requires learners to use accurate grammar, pronunciations, and vocabulary. Moreover, it involves developing knowledge about when and how to communicate. Burns and Seidhofer, 2002. Since learning to speak is challenging, teachers need to carefully select a task to give students speaking practice and should guide the students when and how to perform the task, based on Mercer, 1998. Moreover, the teacher should not only be encouraging but also keep in mind that learners learn while making mistakes during an assigned task, by Baker and Westrap, 2000. Number 2 is activities used during the study. In this study, a few warm-up activities suggested by Holmes, 2003, were used with the experimental group to develop and enhance students' speaking skills. Warm-up activities help the students get to know each other in a comfortable atmosphere. Warm-up activities can be divided into two types by Holmes, 2003. The first type gives students an opportunity to interview each student without too much teacher supervision. Conducted in pairs, students often find these activities not threatening since they have only one listener. By Klippel, 1984. During the second type of speaking activity, the students play games that are fun and rather interesting. Next, it's about strategies in teaching speaking. Ada beberapa langkah yang bisa dilakukan oleh guru dalam strategi pembelajaran dalam berbicara. Yang pertama, getting to know you interview. Yang kedua, Simon says. Yang ketiga, it's in the bag. Yang keempat, 1 minute game. Selanjutnya, teachers difficulties in teaching speaking. Dalam pembahasan ini ada beberapa lacking of dari teachers difficulties ya. Yang pertama, lack of appropriate vocabulary. Lack of vocabulary was regarded as a main obstacle for spoken communication by Indonesian English students. Lack of vocabulary, kosakatanya belum terlalu banyak. Yang kedua, lack of grammar mastery, emphasizing that English foreign language students mostly face difficulties in learning grammar. Similarly, Sopin, 2015, asserts that English foreign language students have error correction and grammar in learning language. In this sense, the less mastery of grammar can be considered as one of the common obstacles in their English speaking proficiency. Selanjutnya, lack of correct pronunciation. Pronunciation is one of the meaningful factors contributing on speaking fluency. Pronunciation itu adalah pengucapan, pelafalan yang kita lafalkan ketika kita berbicara bahasa Inggris. Bagaimana pronunciation-nya? Oke, yang terakhir saya akan menjelaskan ada 2 poin lagi di dalam chapter 2 ini, yaitu assessment and method. Yang pertama, assessment. The study main assessment. The study mainly aims at investigating some English-speaking problems encountered by the students in junior high school in SMPN 2 Sungai Aur and some implications for developing speaking skills to make them more confident with speaking English in public or in front of the class. Yang terakhir yaitu method. In the study, the assessment was carried out after the students had performed various basic exercises described previously. Students will find out which vocabulary is usually used in daily conversation, which is the basis for learning, then assess the discussion that has been carried out, how the development of abilities obtained after all the strategies are carried out. Okay, at the last session, I would like to say thanks for watching my video and forgive me for my mistakes. I think many problems about my explanation in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Forgive me for my mistakes and thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.